Yesterday, we witnessed something that has angered a lot of people in the track and field world, and it's something that does happen every once in a while, maybe every 5 World Championship and Olympic cycles. We saw protesters jump onto the track and disrupt an actual race. Now, this was in the men's 400-meter hurdles, and we had Karsten Warholm from Norway, who's the world record holder, actually finished this race without being touched by these people. He was in the outside lane, and you can actually see him go past these protesters and finish the race in 47.5 seconds, which is a very solid time. But the issue here is that these people got on the track way too easily. They disrupted every other athlete in this field. But the problems really only start there. There are so many issues that come from this one moment that I think it's worth covering. Now, the first and most obvious is that these people are disrupting an actual race. These athletes could have gotten injured. In fact, if you look closely, there was actually an athlete that was impeded so much that he went from around 2nd to 3rd to around 4th place. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but this actually decreases this person's prize money by a few $1,000s, and while I don't know what the actual process is right now, I'm thinking that this probably led to lower money. And yes, there is the ability for an athlete like this to potentially put in some kind of protest himself and say, hey, look, I was actually in 2nd, I had to run through these protesters. I don't know if there's any actual ability to fulfill that because the finishing times are the finishing times. Now, the big question that a lot of people have is, who are these people and how exactly did they get on the field? This isn't some small track meet. This is an international Diamond League event. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars, that go into these specific races. And I looked a little bit deeper to find out who these people are, and it turns out that they're protesting turf mining, which is a big economic issue in Europe and really throughout the entire world. Now, the issue that these people have with turf mining is that this is apparently contributing to global warming. Now, we've seen a lot of people protest when it comes to climate changing issues, and this is certainly one of them, but the big issue here, and this is probably what most people are thinking, is that this is the absolute worst way to promote your perspective and try to get people on board with your ideas. Even if they were promoting the most humanitarian and good thing in the world, doing it this way makes people not want to join your issue. This was just a very inappropriate way to promote your ideas. And even after the race, Karsten Warholm expressed massive anger, saying that these people were disruptive, saying that these people are lucky that they didn't get hurt. In fact, there's a really funny interview with Sidious Mag that I'll make sure to link down below, where he was basically saying that if these people were in lane 8 where he was running, it could have been a big problem. And this basically means that he would have barreled over them and probably led to some people getting hurt. Now, the other glaring issue is the lack of security that inevitably should have kept these people off of the track. Now, I found this video right here that literally shows these people, including a photographer, jumping onto the track with nobody even close to stopping them. With about 80 meters to go or so, these athletes were coming down the finish line, and these 3 people just waltzed their way onto the track, holding their banners promoting this idea that they have. Now, it's really a shame that this happened in this way, because promoting green ideas is not that bad. It really does have merit to it, and a lot of people do see this as a good source to put their money into. But to disrupt a track meet and literally to put these athletes' health in danger is just completely inappropriate and just massively irresponsible. The weird thing is, even after these people were on the track, you can actually see a race organizer literally just hovering right behind the photographer with no real attempt to get them off of the track. Now, I don't blame this one person specifically, because this was just one person versus 4, and there's really no way that she was going to move all 4 of these people off the track over the course of 6 or 7 seconds, but the issue really comes down to security right now. Thankfully, this didn't happen in the World Championships, because that would have been a super disappointing thing to see. If anything, this kind of thing can raise awareness about how we need to have more people ready and willing to stop protesters or anyone from disrupting a track meet from finishing how it needs to finish. Thankfully, no one was hurt at the end of the day, and really that's the biggest and most important thing here, but I think this really highlights a big issue of security. This was really one of the more wild and bizarre things that we have seen in this year's athletic season, and thankfully no one was hurt. Thankfully, these people also were escorted off the track, and hopefully this doesn't happen again. And really, I just wanted to shed my light on this issue and raise awareness, and that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and as always, until next time.